Have you ever wondered why some people accumulate wealth effortlessly, while others struggle financially despite working hard? This riddle is unraveled in the eye-opening book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. One of the key lessons drawn from the first few chapters is the importance of financial literacy. The book tells the story of a young boy with two dads, one rich and one poor. The rich dad, although not traditionally highly educated, understood the essence of financial education, which led him to build a successful business empire. He knew how to make money work for him rather than working for money. In stark contrast, the poor dad, despite being highly educated, struggled financially. His lack of financial literacy meant he was always working for money, never understanding how to let it work for him. As we can see, understanding money, how it works, how to make it work for you, is crucial to building wealth. So, what separates the rich from the poor and the middle class? This question may seem complex, but the answer lies in the mindset, as highlighted in the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This mindset, the wealthy mindset, is the secret sauce that sets the affluent apart. The book underscores the importance of this mindset, illustrating it through the contrasting beliefs of Rich Dad and Poor Dad. Rich Dad, a successful entrepreneur, held the notion that investing in assets was the key to wealth. Poor Dad, a salaried employee, on the other hand, placed more importance on liabilities, living paycheck to paycheck. Now this brings us to the crux of the matter, understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset, in simple terms, is anything that puts money in your pocket. This could be a business, real estate, stocks, or bonds. It's something that generates income for you, even when you're not physically working. A liability, contrarily, is anything that takes money out of your pocket. This includes things like your car, your house, or your credit card debt. These are things that, while they might seem like they add value to your life, are actually draining your financial resources, often without you even realizing it. Rich Dad's philosophy was all about increasing assets and decreasing liabilities. He believed in letting his money work for him instead of working for his money. This is a fundamental shift in thought, which can lead to an exponential increase in wealth. Poor Dad, conversely, was stuck in the cycle of acquiring liabilities. He worked hard to earn his money, only to see it flow out just as quickly, leaving him in a constant state of financial stress. This tale of two dads serves as a powerful reminder that wealth is not about the size of your paycheck. It's about understanding the game of money, playing it wisely, and making your money work for you. Remember, it's not about how much money you make, but how much you keep and how hard it works for you. But how can one go about building these assets? Well, the answer lies in the power of entrepreneurship. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the author, Robert Kiyosaki, places a heavy emphasis on this concept as a means of wealth creation. Rich Dad, the author's mentor, was a fervent advocate for entrepreneurial endeavors and risk-taking, believing that they were the surest paths to financial freedom. Now, let's take a moment to consider what entrepreneurship really entails. It's not just about starting a business or inventing a new product, it's about identifying opportunities, taking calculated risks, and creating value where there was none before. It's about having the courage to step out of the conventional path and chart your own course. On the other hand, Poor Dad, the author's biological father, sought security in a stable job. He believed in the traditional path of getting a good education, finding a secure job, and saving for retirement. His mindset was rooted in the fear of financial instability. However, the book presents a different perspective. It argues that a stable job might provide a steady paycheck, but it doesn't necessarily lead to financial independence. It's like being in a hamster wheel, running in circles but not truly moving forward. Entrepreneurship, by contrast, is likened to sailing a ship. Yes, the sea might be rough and the journey fraught with challenges, but it's the only way to discover new lands and amass wealth beyond your wildest dreams. The importance of entrepreneurship in the pursuit of financial independence cannot be overstated. It's about more than just making money. It's about taking control of your financial future and creating a legacy that can be passed down to future generations. The book doesn't discourage seeking a stable job, but it does encourage readers to consider entrepreneurship as a viable and potentially more rewarding path. It's not about choosing between a job and a business, but about understanding the limitations and potentials of both. The key takeaway here is to not be afraid of taking calculated risks in the pursuit of financial independence. Dare to dream, dare to take risks, and dare to create your own path to wealth. So once we've accumulated wealth, are we done? Well, the final chapters of Rich Dad Poor Dad would argue, certainly not. The importance of continuous learning is emphasized even after achieving financial success. Just think about it. Rich Dad, despite his financial stability, never stopped learning. He continually sought out new investment opportunities, always hungry for knowledge that could further grow his wealth. He understood the value of keeping his financial acumen sharp, of staying abreast of market trends and shifts. He knew that wealth wasn't just about accumulation, but also about preservation and growth. And for that, learning never stops. It's not a destination, but a journey. A journey filled with evolving strategies, changing landscapes, and new opportunities. We mustn't rest on our laurels once we've tasted success. Instead, we should see it as a stepping stone to greater knowledge and wisdom. Wealth creation is a lifelong journey that requires continuous learning and adaptation. In summary, what are the key takeaways from Rich Dad Poor Dad? Let's rewind and revisit the core principles we've examined. First, we delved into the power of financial literacy, understanding that knowledge about money is as essential as money itself. The ability to read and interpret financial statements, the comprehension of investments and taxes are all vital in our quest for financial independence. Next, we explored the mindset of the wealthy. It's not just about accumulating wealth, but about thinking differently, about seeing opportunities where others see obstacles, about taking risks and daring to fail. We also discussed the power of entrepreneurship. It's about creating wealth, not just earning a salary. It's about building assets, not liabilities, about being the boss, not the employee. And finally, the importance of continuous learning. Knowledge is power, and the more we learn, the more powerful we become. So, equip yourself with financial knowledge, develop a wealthy mindset, embrace entrepreneurship, and never stop learning. That's the path to financial independence as highlighted in Rich Dad Poor Dad.